Hello everybody, October 7th, 2012. The other morning I noticed on my blog, Moneybags World, that the national debt had jumped $100 billion. And I did a little research and I wanted to find out why. I went to treasurydirect.gov and it showed that there, on the first day of the new fiscal year 2013, which started October 1st, that's the first day of the fiscal year for the federal government's books, the national debt jumped $93 billion, the second most ever on the first day of a fiscal year. To put this in perspective, the entire 1981 fiscal year, the national debt rose $90.1 billion. So it was more than the entire year in 1981 in one day. And according to the Congressional Budget Office, last week they came out with their estimates. 1.1 trillion is a deficit for 2012. And usually they're pretty close to what the final number is. This is the fifth straight year of trillion-dollar deficits, everybody. The national debt is now $16.16 trillion and was just $8 trillion 7 years ago. The national debt grew more under Obama in 4 years than it did under Bush in 8. And don't forget, Bush added $4.9 trillion. So in order to mop that up, Obama went ahead and added $5.1 trillion to the national debt. Understand that logic? Not a single nation in the Eurozone has a per person debt greater than the United States. In the past 4 years, the national debt increased more than it did between 1776 and 1995. If Congress stopped all spending today and didn't spend another dime, it would take 442 years to pay off the national debt by paying $100 million every day. And that's without spending a dime, and they just spent $3.5 trillion last year. I mean, the size of the debt is just unimaginable. And don't let politicians confuse you by trying to make you misunderstand the word deficit and debt. They keep saying, oh, deficit reduction. Yeah, they're going to reduce the deficit, which is the amount they overspent in a year, but they're going to continue adding to the debt. Romney keeps saying, oh, I'm going to reform the tax code and reform the entitlement programs. I'm going to balance the books. Yeah, balance the books. Where are you going to cut over $1 trillion at? That's what I want to know. He gives no specifics. He doesn't say, oh, wait, I think he did say he was going to cut some subsidies to the railroads. I mean, he's talking almost nothing. $1 trillion is 1/3, a little less than 1/3 of all spending last year needs to be cut. I don't see it happening. I'll leave you with a glimpse of the past 4 years where you see the size of the deficit each year, the amount of interest payment, and the percentage of interest. The interest percentage has been going down. That's why, we can finance the interest payment. But when interest rates go up, the debt is so huge that payment is going to keep climbing. I already did a video showing where it'll go towards $1 trillion in interest. I mean, they can't hold down rates forever, and that's why this is not that big of an issue. But it's going to become a big issue, and this is a total crisis that's not being addressed. You had a super committee try and cut $2 trillion out of the next 10 years. They couldn't come to any type of agreement. I mean, there's just the whole conclusion of this is there's going to be a lot of money printing, everybody, and gold and silver are going to be the best wealth protection tools that there are. So that's what we're going to have. I don't believe any politician is going to balance the books. What a joke. That's like the biggest joke I've heard, balance the books. You cannot balance the books unless you just slash everything in half. Not going to happen. Political suicide.